Hello and welcome to the new series which we're going to call Crafty Corner. This will be episode 1, and today we're going to be discussing Crafty 2.1 Alpha, all of the upcoming features that have been built, and just various things that are going on with Crafty in general. First off, I just want to say that I'm a little sick, so sorry for the scratchy voice. Um, Let us go ahead and jump right in. So 2.1 has been completely rebuilt in several ways, several areas. So the installer, for instance, has been rebuilt to be significantly easier to work with. So I'm inside a virtual environment right now, and this is my Crafty web project. And what we're going to do is we're going to just say Python Crafty. And you'll notice there's no questions. It hasn't asked me a single thing. It just spins up the web server on port 8000. It tells you to please connect to that device on 8000. It tells you the username is admin, and it will tell you your password. So we're going to now copy that password, and we're going to go into here. So same as normal, we just simply log in. And the difference is now we are greeted with the new installer. This installer literally is 4 questions and a checkbox. You're done. Interesting thing to note is that the installer looks to see what type of system you're on. So if you are on a Linux environment, you'll notice that the slashes are the correct way. If you are on a Windows environment, it will actually throw a C colon and then the other backslashes and redirect to those correctly based on the OS. So you'll automatically start with a path for Windows and one for Linux without having to type too much. Short of me scanning the entire hard drive and trying to find all your jars, it's literally about the fastest and the easiest I can do. So auto start is enabled by default. You can uncheck that. You can change your memory. This will not take any letters. You have to have numbers, and it is not in gigs. Also notice right here, it tells you how much memory is currently on the machine available. So this takes into account any services that are running. If you have 15 other servers that are running in the background and you're setting up a new one, this will tell you how much is available at that moment. So we're going to go ahead and say continue. And now we are presented with the slightly overhauled dashboard. So we changed a few things here. Like for instance, we've given you the actual usage versus the total. So I'm using 3.8 gigs of 31.4 gigs. This is my dev environment, so it's a little different. And that's your actual disk usage versus the total. So it gives you real values. This was a suggestion, and so it was approved, and I went ahead and did it. The other thing you're going to notice is that if we go to server control, clicking start, it's going to be significantly faster. I did not speed anything up. That is real time. The other thing you notice is that I don't dump you to the dashboard anymore. Now I take you straight to the console so that you can watch your server boot up without having to click anything, and you automatically can watch and see it spawning and doing its things. And we don't have that annoying little box that sat there for 5 to 10 seconds. I've overhauled the way that we do the schedules and some of the commands being set to the back end. So now it's a little more database heavy. It's really not that heavy, honestly. I just simply throw a remote command in there, and I have a thread that is constantly scanning that particular table to look for actions to complete. So by doing that, I don't hold up the web front end anymore. Everything's thrown off into its own thread. Don't have to worry about it. And as you see, it goes quickly. Some of the other things we've done is we have also added an up arrow. So if you press up, it will automatically pull up the last command. I'm not going to implement a large history in that. It would be nice one day, but right now, single command only. The other thing you'll notice is I've added a box up here, which is stop auto-scrolling. So as long as that is checked, it will stop auto-scrolling. So if you want to scroll back in time, you can, but do note that due to the fact that a lot of log files are very large, I only load a certain amount of lines. Not even actual full lines, actually go by character count. So you'll see sometimes the beginning has less. If you want to see more lines, you need to go to the logs. I only pull about 100 or so lines out of here. But if you uncheck that, it'll also automatically start scrolling again for you. So if you see something interesting, you can at least stop the scroll, look at it, understand what's going on, and then uncheck, and you're back to normal content. And going back to the log section, so you see here the scroll bar is significantly smaller because I only pull 500 lines, whereas on Virtual Console, maybe 100 or so. So that's that for that update. Let's see some other things that we've done. So if we go to the config page, you'll now see that the web server port is available to change on the web page. I also remind you that 443 and 80 is going to require root on Linux. So let's say you wanted this to be on port 8001. Okay, you can do that. Click Save, and I'm now saved to the database, but I have to reload. So we're going to go here, and we're going to click Reload Web Server. And what that will do is that will go ahead and restart the web server on the back end. And if you notice, my up here will change, the URL will switch, and now we're on 8001, which is the new port. Notice the server did not stop. Everything's good to go. Oh, you know, it helps to actually put in the right password. So server's going. That's great and wonderful. Let's go to, well, there's a new bug. It's alpha. It's going to have bugs. I need to figure out what's going on with that. But in the meantime, I know what's going on with it. I will fix that. Let me make a note real quick. Hold on just a second there. So, okay, note has been written. Continuing on with the coolness and the new stuff. Let's see, so that's it on the dashboard and the web interface, I believe. I don't think we've done anything else at the moment. I mean, I've only worked on it for about a week or so. So this stuff is done, and a lot of the new stuff that I've added is all on the back end. So one of the other things is like when you hit stop server, it kicks it instantly, and you're back to here. And look, my server's already stopped. That was fast. And the server's down, and everything's updated the way it should be. And if we go back to start, again, it'll go really quick. You notice the latest log changed, so the console changes. I'm going to let this go because I want to show you how fast a restart is, because that was a good 20 seconds of everyone's day, and we don't really want to waste that kind of time. So we'll go back to our server control. I wonder if I go here and refresh. No, it's just going to be a but. Okay, so we'll go back to the server here, and we're going to hit restart, and watch how fast that was. I mean, that was like instant. It's already stopped. It's already starting back up. It is very significantly faster. I'm quite pleased with that in general. That has done really good things for me. So now we're going to go to the console, and I'm going to really quickly do a tail on the logs for Crafty. And we see that the PID now is actually working. I have finally figured this out. It was a serious pain in the rear, but I got it going, and that's good to go. Basically what happened was that the way the command lines were being sent back to me wasn't working the way that we expected, and that's okay. Anyway, so that's been fixed. I want to show you some of the new commands we have. So if we go to help from the console, I've added a ton of commands, some definite improvement of functionality due to several user requests. So what we're going to do is we can, for instance, change the web port, because maybe you're on a console and you don't want to log into the web application to do this, and that's fine, because we were on what, 8001, I believe? Wasn't it 8001? He said questioningly. Yes, it was on port 8001. So what we'll do is we will go to port 8000, change it, and I believe that it should have done in the back end. No, it didn't. There's a thing. Oh, reload web server. Yes, I'm a moron. Don't remember my own commands. So reload web server, and if you hit that, now you'll see over here in the log that the remote command of restart web server was found. It's executing that command. It's clearing all other commands, and then starts back up. And if we go back to our web page and refresh, it's not going to work. And that's because we are on a different port now. And Chrome is locking up, because that's what Chrome does. I did not save the password. That's okay though. I probably should change that. Anyway, so we're back up. The server restarted because auto start was turned on. So that happens. So we're doing that. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, that's right, we have show stats. Show stats will now give you a, okay, it's designed for a little bigger screen. Let's go over here and get rid of that. Oops, let me just exit. Clear, reload Crafty, okay, and then show work fingers. Show stats, and the web server's not running, right? Because we didn't tell it to run. It's not auto started. So here we have some nice server stats. We see the server's not running. We see the web console's there, our processor usage, and some generalized stats. So let's type start. And this will actually start Minecraft in the background. This. And now we will, hitting the up arrow does work in here, so you can show stats again, which may take some time because my machine's under some load. And so now, because the web server or the Minecraft server is actually up and pingable, we see that we have more information down here of the online stats. And look, the server version and all that is working as expected. So I bet you that on the dashboard it's working. It is. Look at that. I know what the problem is. And I don't remember what my password was because I didn't change it. Okay, that's all right. You know what? New feature request. Change password from console. That'll be in by next week. Because it would be really nice to do that without having to completely redo your config, right? I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Anyway, so we can do all that, and then there's another thing that I wanted to show you guys and gals. Is let me go back into my virtual environment because that's the way Python rolls. And one of the things that I've been trying to prep for is the ability to do services and to run in the background and how to do things like that. So it's a little complicated and it's going to take some time, but that's part of the whole remote task in the background thing. That was moving towards that. The other thing that I can now do is I can say Python crafty .py-h, and Crafty now will take some commands on the end. So for instance, K for kill, and that killed my Crafty. That killed Crafty over here. If you notice, it's now gone. It's not running anymore, and if we go back to our web and reset, it's gone. It's dead. So now you can shut down Crafty gracefully. Gracefully, I have to say that. It will automatically kill the Minecraft server if it's running, and it will automatically shut down Crafty if it's running, and that way you can actually script this so we can start building, like systemd things. The Windows services are a little more tricky, and I'm going to probably have to use a batch script along with another person's exe to be able to enable and disable the services. And I'll probably have an enable and disable for the Linux side as well, just some bash scripts. But with Linux, of course, everything being a file, I can just kind of create a service file for systemd. Whereas with Windows, I actually have to use something like either PowerShell or something to push that service up there. But it is on the plans, it is in the books for stuff for us to do, and we will be doing it. So let's look real quick at our changelog. Okay, so things that we've done is we've added that real-time disk usage. And notice that I thank the people who actually ask for things, because you guys are what makes Crafty great. I would have been done with it a long time ago. But you keep coming up with cool ideas and new things and making it a better thing, making it a better product, and I'm happy to give it to you, as long as it's within my power to do so. The host names now in the start page, when it first loads up, it'll actually tell you your real host name. We added lots of command line options, and I'm not going to try. Okay, I'll try the name just because we'll give it a shot. Let's see. Eritani. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I'm terribly sorry. We've added some remote command support. We've already talked about that. We've done the web server. We've done the Crafty settings. We've added the web server port. And everything to the new commands. Thanks very much, Discovery OV, for doing that. Or Discover OV. I'm sorry. But that fixes a lot of the hanging issues. And thanks for working with me on that and the PM as well, because I was like literally, writing code, going, okay, pull it, and he pulls it, and he's like, yep, okay, not working, and stuff like that. Peter Bread, thank you very much about the auto scroll on the virtual console, as well as the last command. As you said, the convenience is real. Let's see, and we've also changed some things. So if you type stop at the command prompt for Crafty, it will only stop the Minecraft server. You have to use exit to be able to exit Crafty now. Or you can fire off another Crafty and do -K and it'll kill everything. Let's see, the installer has been overhauled, and yes, bug fixes so far. Let's see, that's right, there was a problem with the auto start installer. It was not asking for the delay. It was just automatically guessing. But I fixed that by just removing it. And the installer now will verify if the jar is correct. But I believe that bug is going to be back because I don't do it in the window, in the actual web installer. I'm going to have to fix that actually. So let me copy that as well and paste it. Let's see. So that's all the stuff for Crafty 2.1. There are some other things that are coming. So one of the things that you can do now is Crafty, and I did not remember saying go go full screen. There we go. So Crafty, now if you use Brave and you use Brave rewards, I'm now a Brave certified creator, so you can send me a tip if you do the whole Brave thing. Greatly appreciated. Don't have to. Not lobbying for a whole bunch of cash. I would like to offset some of my infrastructure costs, like the web server and some of the other things. We are working slowly, very slowly, on the Crafty Commander, which will be the multi-server management piece to Crafty. So Crafty will run on all your servers and will manage your servers individually, and then you can group them together by logging into this interface. It will be something along the lines of, and I haven't fleshed this out yet, but it'll be something along the lines of, you go into the Crafty program through the web panel or whatever, and you basically enable an API key, and then you'll come here to this service and you will paste that API key, your IP address, and what port it runs on, and at that point Crafty Commander will be able to communicate with your Crafty server that you've entered with that authentication key. That key will be randomly generated. It will be as secure as possible. It will be over HTTPS, so you do not need to worry about prying eyes watching commands that are being sent and stuff like that. The other thing is the pricing, and this is not 100%. This is not 100% finalized. This is a generalized idea of what the pricing is going to be. If you want to do 1 to 2 servers, then it's going to be $0 a month. I'm not going to charge you for running 1 or 2 servers. So if you've got a dev server and a live server and you want to play around with both, command them both, you can do that. 3 to 5 servers, it's going to be $3 a month currently. Maybe changing that, honestly. I may bump it up to $4. And it might be changing the number of servers as well. So on the free side, I might, because of the fact that Bungie requires kind of 3 servers, I'm probably going to give 1 to 3 servers for free. And then for $4 a month, you can do like 4 to 6 servers. And then $9 a month, which will be the absolute max, I'm not going to charge any more than that, will be 6 or 7 servers, depending on how I go. Because of the Bungie thing, someone brought up about the fact that you kind of need 3 to have a network. So looking at that, I'm also looking at some education discounts. So if you're a nonprofit or if you're in college, right, and you have an EDU email address, I'll probably give you a discount. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but maybe it's just an extra server or something. I'm not quite sure. There's some other things that Virus and I are working on in the back end. I don't want to really spoil anything, but there are some cool things that are going to be grouped into this Crafty Commander interface. So $4 a month, I know it's kind of cheap for a lot of people, but for some people it's like, hey, $4 a month, you're talking almost $50 a year. What am I going to get for that? So yes, you get the Crafty interface. Yes, you get Commander and all that jazz, but we're also going to be bundling some stuff in there. Don't want to ruin a lot of surprises, but there will be some added benefits to using it, and for a paid account. And plus, like I said, 1 to 3 servers is going to be $0 anyway, so we'll move on that as well. So we also have a dedicated Discord channel just for that one. Yes, I know it's broken right now just because I'm in Brave. But I'm probably going to be able to do the clustering by the second quarter of next year. There's a lot of stuff that needs to go into Crafty 2.1, 2.2 before I consider it good enough for me to break away for a month or so and work on this interface here. And then at that point, I'll probably be splitting my time. We're talking about adding some themes. If you're not in the Discord channel, we're talking about the ability to add themes. There are people who are going to start building some themes so that we can kind of customize everything for you. There's just the project's going very fast. I'm constantly working on it. It's very active, and I hope that this video helped you a little bit understand where we're going, what we're doing. I'm going to try to do these. I don't want to dedicate an actual time. I don't want to give you a dedicated time that, every Friday or something like that. But I will try to do one every 1 to 2 weeks, depending upon how fast development rolls. So that's it for me. I appreciate your time, as always. And thanks, guys, for all your suggestions and everything. Have a good day.